Ugh, finally. Someone that looks like they could stand up to a moderate breeze. There's need for an adventurer such as yourself. Me and a crew are mounting an expedition to a new land, south of here. Ah, clever and strong, I see. It's as I said, we're going to the teeth of Naros, the land south of Dalentarth. If you want more information, seek Hellick Cross. He's leading us. We're camped beyond Ettenmere. Glad that's done with.
I'll kill you all if I have to. Damn boggarts. Give me a moment. Suddenly, very dizzy. Aside from the boggarts and blood plague. Look, you should turn around and go. Go somewhere safe. This is no place for visitors right now. Kester Barclay would know far better than me. He's in the town square. Go and ask him yourself. Kester's right in the town square. Talk to him. They're out in droves. I don't know why, but Kester might. He returned from a scouting mission not long ago. Didenhill's warden. That means he sees to things, keeps us safe and the like. It's the blood plague. The boggarts carry it. Nearly all of the village has been infected. Most don't die from it, but it can weaken a man fiercely. Without a cure, the village won't last much longer. Didenhill is a haven for those traveling from Gorehart to Galliford, but now, nowhere is safe. Talk to you later.
Half the village sick with this damn plague.
By me, Tharu, what is it you...
Oh, hello. Did Thaddeus send you? Kester Barclay. My apologies. I don't mean to be rude. This crisis has me a bit on edge. Yes, that's it. Did Thaddeus tell you? The boggarts carry it in their venom, and they're spreading it everywhere. Normally the things keep to themselves. Looks like some Jotun got into their lair, though. Forced the boggarts out. You're either brave or a fool. But if you could kill the Jotun, perhaps the Boggarts would leave us alone. All right. Travel north to the Boggarts' lair in Coilsbane and clear out their cave. They won't likely kill you. Leave you weak as a kitten there. Around here, that's as good as dead. A single Boggart we can handle. But 10? 20? It's only a matter of time before the whole town is infected. I can't allow them to run around unchecked, putting all the folks here at risk. Coilsbane is a Boggart cave just north of town. Well, it used to be anyway. A while back, some Jotun started digging in the caves. They drove the Boggarts out, and right into our town. Don't know what the Jotun were looking for, or if they've found it, and I don't care. I just want them gone. We're simple people here. Merchants, tradesmen. We're not equipped to deal with a threat like this. Please, hurry.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but I'm simply out of Plague Shield. There's nothing I can do for you or anyone else till I have it. Blasted blood plague. It treats the blood plague, which almost all of Didenhill's sick with just now. Brother Fallon should have come with more. Can't think where he is. Good, because the whole village needs that plague shield. Never mind what happened to that old oaf. I need the medicine. 3 parcels at least. Go up the road through Glendora Wood that leads to the mission. Bring the plague shield yourself if you must. Normally, I'd say it's not as bad as it sounds. Doesn't kill most of the time, just weakens. Only half the village has it now, and a bedridden village starves sooner or later. Lumpkins, oafs, and busybodies. Except for the poor bedraggled sick ones here in my care. I suppose they all mean well, only the airs coming out of these woods have addled their brains. Only thing for treating the blood plague. Few indeed have the skill to make it. I certainly can't, for all my years as a healer. Well, Brother Fallon should have it, but then he should have been here by now. Go up into Glendora Wood toward the mission, see what you can find. On with you, get...
Ah, the castle. This tells me that
Half the
your
village
tavern will
sick
be a
with this
part of
damn
Loch
plague.
Dyden for decades.
The militia's store of potions has been used up, and we lost our alchemist nearly a month ago. Now it's up to me to resupply reagents and brew the potions. Somehow. Our biggest problem is Boggarts, and the best thing against them would be fire. So it's fire potions. Tinder twig and scarwood bark. They're out in Glendara Wood, but the wood's been far too dangerous for the likes of me. You do seem the brave and heroic sort. Well, the village has a fund. Tinder twigs often in that cave-like pass south of the lake. And scarwood barks found by the ruins in northern Glendara Wood. Oleander Sinclair. Recognize the name? Left to gather herbs in Ironhold Passage some time ago. He never returned. Where we crafters work and mostly live. Olin and Cora handle selling the goods. Didenhill's warden and war hero. I doubt any could have dealt better with the troubles we've had. Best thing against Boggarts is flame. Old Oleander had a fine potion for that. I can manage a crude semblance thereof, when I've the proper reagents. If you're buying goods in Didenhill, it's Cora Bannock you want. Tinder twig, which is easiest found in Ironhold Passage, and Scarwood bark, which is found near the ruins in northern Glendara Wood. Now this is good news indeed. Here, have this for your efforts. Plague or thunder, the craft hall's doors are always open. I have full faith in Kester to keep us safe. If you ask me, there's one clear cause of this plague. Half the village sick with this damn plague.
You're a brave soul coming to Didenhill. This little village is faring pretty badly, and I would know. I was in the war. It's in your best interest to fill your pack and depart as soon as you're able. The blood plague works fast, very fast. You met Gisela? How? I sent that death notice. She should know that I'm dead. She cannot know that I survived. Call me a coward. Call me whatever you wish. I am not the same man she wed so long ago. I am broken. I cannot subject her to the nightmares, the wounds, the restlessness. I will spare her that torment. I don't know. I've endured much, but perhaps she has endured even more. Her silent vigil has no doubt been as trying as my time on the battlefield. You're right. This reunion is one we both deserve. We have earned our happiness. How could I have ever considered anything else? Thank you, truly. Thank you. It's pretty nasty, and I've seen my fair share of infections and ailments. We had plenty of them in the trenches and on the walls of Melson Shear. You don't want to know about me. Besides, that name hardly means anything to me now. I came back different, a shadow of the boy from Gorehart. I'd rather not talk about it, if that's okay with you. I think about the war enough as it is, and I doubt these wolves will ever let me forget it. I paid a scholar to fashion a false death notice, the kind the army uses to inform the next of kin that a soldier has fallen in the line of duty. A courier left with it several days ago. All my hope for Gisela's future went with it. It was once an old Alfar outpost, nothing extraordinary. Then it became the last line of defense, where we held back the Tuatha through long nights of fire. Melson Shear is where I lost this hand, where I knew I'd never come home the same man that I left.
It's your fault that I can't pay my tab, you know? I wasn't ever supposed to come back here in the first place. I've spent the last 20 years knowing what fate had in store for me. And then you... Damn it. I thought I had my life figured out. I know. It's just... I wasn't always the man I am now. In my youth, I was quite the warrior. I fought beasts the size of trees, was celebrated by mortals and fae alike. When I was initiated into the Fate Weavers, I thought it was a reward for my good deeds. The first time I saw my own fate, I realized it was nothing but a curse. My own death, of course. But not a hero's death as I had always dreamed. I was going to die alone and unknown. Killed by an Etin and used for stew. It was a terrible end, but I knew it was part of fate's greater plan. Then you came and changed that future. You stole my part in the tapestry. I was at peace with knowing the worst. But what do I do now that there's nothing to know? You're right. My glory days don't have to be over, and as long as I'm around you, I don't know how my story will end. That means I've got to make sure you stay around in one piece. Maybe this old trinket from my youth will help. After all, I don't just owe you my life. I owe you my future. Why, I once tracked the Yeth of Avgrun on a moonless night by smell alone. Fey or not, I could have tracked those Tuatha sober. They've set up in a cavern north of town, complete with some way of scrying your location. That's how they found you so easily. I have a plan, but it'll take the both of us to work. These soldiers were sent out with one purpose: finding you and making sure you stay dead. Everything else, the well, Arden, Hughes, have all been collateral damage. They're using something big to track you. They call it the Eyes of Tirnoch. Smash it, and they won't be following you anymore. The main entrance is heavily guarded and will require a strong attack. The other route is trapped. It'll need a subtler approach. I don't have an answer for that. I can't imagine what about you made Gadflow send his troops across the continent. Straightforward and direct. A warrior after my own heart. I'll cover the back and make sure they can't escape to report back to whoever sent them here. Let's track down some trouble.
Oh.
Your future is running out! Another victory! Your future is running out! Well... This is the front entrance. You'll face their strongest guards, so it's no place for subtlety. Find their scrying mirror and smash it. I'll slip in the back and make sure none of them escape. Thanks for giving an old man another chance. It's good to know I've got a future again. And even better not to know what it is. Whoever that Aelin Shear is, I don't think she's our enemy. If she wanted us dead, she could have killed us while we were weakened. But she's still trouble. Reminds me of a dark elf who left me half naked and tied to a bar guest once. Now those were the days. The immortals inscribed their knowledge of fate into the living stone. I always thought it was a poetic way of talking about the theater. But there it is, in your hands. Keep it close, child. The mine has a main entrance and an escape tunnel. The main one is heavily guarded, and the escape is heavily trapped. I saw them bringing bar guests down in cages, probably still being trained. Turn the beasts free, and I bet they cause some chaos for you. You know the summer court in Issa? Well, the winter court are their darker siblings. They're not evil, but they're definitely not nice. He once offered me an honorary knighthood after I slayed the Dream Eater of Amora. He was quite gracious when I turned him down. The Crystal War, they've been calling it. 10 years ago, the Winter Fae turned violent and attacked us in force, calling themselves the Tuatha Deon. They say it's their sacred duty to cleanse the mortals from their lands. Naturally, the humans and Alpha who live here aren't so happy with that plan. It's been going back and forth for years. Where there's war, there's soldiers nervous about their fate, and that's where I come in. Ah, the warm and welcoming Fae of the Summer Court. They were the ones who welcomed man, Alpha, and Gnome into the Faelands. You'd hardly realize the Tuatha are the same sort of creature. We'll be attacking their camp from both sides. We can't have any of them escaping to report back. Strange crystal, Prismir. It's normally a shade of blue, but when you treat it and charge it with magic, it turns blood red. You know where you stand with a gnome. They're always so focused on their work or research or what have you, that they've got no time for lies. Shame, they try to stay out of fights. Much as we could use their help in the war, staying neutral is about the only way they can stay safe. Gadflow is just some trumped-up Fae who started hearing voices, I gather. But a crazy with an army is still a threat, sure enough. The eyes of Tirnock are two immense Prismir mirrors. Long as the Tuatha have them trained on you, they'll find you anywhere. The Destiny Stone showed us the tapestry of fate, but your power must have consumed it all. Everything except the wisdom at its core, the Codex of Destiny. Just go inside and find those scrying mirrors. Don't worry, I'll be coming along to help. Good luck. I'll see you inside.
Never killed.
Please, mortal.
Mortal and...
gonna burn. Have you... Time to perish, mortal! Face your doom. Face your doom. Ready to die?
Well fought. We're here. Not until you smash those mirrors. It'll keep them from tracking you all over Dalentarth. Good luck.
The undying mortal has grown tired of running, has she? Decided to fight back? Can you tell me the difference between a creature of nature and a child of dust like yourself? We children of nature know our roles. Meek and mighty, prey and predators, life and death, all serve the cycle. You children of dust do not know your place. You come into our land. You come to face your hunters. And you don't know when to die. You shall learn. In time, all mortals will know the might of Gadflow, blessed herald of the merciful Tirnoch. All mortals end, even if some are more persistent than others.
At least the Tuatha won't be able to track you so easily now. But it looks like you've got the personal attention of their king, Gadflow. If you were anyone else, I'd suggest you start running and not stop for a few years. But you might just have a chance. You're a mortal that survived death. You exist outside of fate. The Fae do not deal well with change, and you represent a threat to whatever has driven them to this war. And as much as I hate to say it, you'll need to take Aelin Shear up on her offer of help. The Codex of Destiny should hold some answers for you. For all I know, you already met with her at the House of Balance, but it sounds like she's the only lead now. We should be able to get out this way.
My. Is Star Camp being visited by a goddess? Are they all as beautiful as you? Maybe I should slap on a habit and join the mission down the road. You're in Star Camp, home of the Traveller's Dove. Now, I don't suppose you came here by accident. Ask Dove, asked to join our number. I thought by the look of you that you might. I have a good feeling about you, but some feelings count less around here than they should. I'll send you to the camp's leader, Krilgarin. She'll get you on your way.
The dust of the road rises to meet you, Wanderer. Welcome to Star Camp. Then Grim has appraised you and found you of worth. But there is another you must appease, our guide, the anonymous Hierophant. Go to the Hierophant shrine in our camp and pray, as all travelers must. We have many freedoms and one chain. A traveler lives by his or her hands and guile. You must do the same. Trader Haydn sells items to supplement these skills if you need. I am Krilgarin. I am unfamiliar with the title the Knave of Coins. But as I understand, it grants me responsibility for this camp and its travelers. I know the lands and shadows and winding paths the travelers use. I heed no law or creed of property. For that, I am given leadership. When others feared to even speak to Faye, Grim came and introduced me to the travelers. Ever since, a more stalwart ally I cannot think of. This place has been walked by many, and this copse was hollowed ground once. We maintain it. You are young among our number. I would not color your perceptions of the Hierophant with my own. We are many things. But what the travelers are to most are thieves. We follow our own way. Travelers have clever hands, but they are useless without the Hierophant, whose eyes guide us, a gift upon which we've come to rely. To receive the Hierophant's visions, we are commanded to pray at their shrines, and there are many who readily comply. May the wind be at your back. Have a rest, lass. The shadows precede you.
Nice to see you, my child. I hope all is going well for you this day. I have a request. A selfish one, but if you have any spare time? Well, it's Brother Padrick. He's a friend of mine. He left about a year's time ago in search of adventure. Said the monk's life was too bland for his tastes. He mentioned hearing about a treasure only found through a hidden exit from Split Rock Depths, that he might find it if he camped in Hacksea for a bit. But such a long time has passed and no word from him. I'm terribly worried, and I thought you might... well, you could check up on him for me? Mitharu's blessings upon you, child. Bless you. Thank you so much. My mind is already at ease knowing you would take on this charge. If it helps, I would begin your search at Split Rock Depths. It is the only place he had mentioned by name. I came to St. Edric's to find peace. Peace and a place to study. It's quite scenic, and nature's beauty has always helped me think better. Puts my mind at ease. From what I hear, it may be home to some of the best thieves around. I'm probably not the most worldly man, but I know enough to be on alert when I pass their camp. So much of the world around us is made of things we can look at, but never see. St. Edric's wants to show us a way to see those things, the meanings in them that go far deeper than their facade. They are a system of caves running through Hacksea, said to have a hidden exit that holds a treasure on its cliff, if it can be found, that is. A dense and magical forest, home of the travelers' camp, and a place to find lodging or goods if you have need of it. He was always looking for more adventure than St. Edric's could offer him. This made him an ambitious man. When he spoke of traveling and seeing more of these lands, there was always a sparkle in his eye. The man was such a dear friend. He even asked me to go with him. I hold no such ambitions for myself. Towards Hacksea and into Split Rock Depths. Begin your search for him there. Good day.
While the shaper brushed the plains with hills and wheat, and the carver moulded the deserts with a careful, measured hand, the third of the Majestics stood and beheld the glories of their work. He was content, in his mind and return, of growth, design shaped in nature, the plains pour out abundance in harmony.
You are unique among them. You decide your own direction. But does that mean you will choose anything different? The last great Fey city, at once the birth of their dream, the throne of their great realm, and the deathbed of their kind. In thanks to High King Titarian, my bows stand vigil over their city in their twilight. Only by my leave may visitors see them in their weakness. I can no longer ignore the quicklings like your kind who rush through the world, ever anxious, ever eager, ever evolving, but never changing. Fools who hack at my roots and burn, and sometimes sages who hang from my branches and learn. To creatures of flesh like yourself, Prismeer is a powerful tool to harness magic. But to creatures of pure magic, like Tuatha or trolls, Prismeer is so much more. To them, it is a curse, a blessing, and a rapture all in one. It drives them and consumes them. And to the weak-willed, it corrupts them utterly. I am as world trees have ever been since the dawn of time. I watch, I understand, and I remember. The troll matriarch. Prismeer has corrupted her, making her cruel, cunning, and far more ambitious than her brethren. She bears the marks of the Tuatha, and she shares their murderous intent. Walk your path, and watch your ally.
I thought I'd find you here. That damned tree sent me. He has roots and branches all through the forest, but I was so hoping you'd be enough of a distraction for me to pass unnoticed. He said we should walk this path together. Thought I could help you, or maybe that you could help me. I've never met Nash. Trolls and Doppelfar rarely invite each other to tea. But if she's matriarch of a clan, you can be sure that she's strong. And if she's so corrupted that Nerolim is nervous about her, then she must pose a bigger threat than most trolls. Let's not keep Nash waiting. Trolls aren't normally this well organized. Even the biggest clans never built dens this deep. No more delays. No more delays. What are the two Arthur doing here? I expected a little more. There's a time to talk and a time to fight. We need to keep moving. Be on your way. If these trolls ever went on a rampage, they could destroy half of Dalantar. There's a time to talk and a time to fight. Be on your way.
Another ghostling for the fire.
This is your end. Looks like the Tuatha have been working here for a long time. If they've come this far inland, we're all in grave danger.
I smell it today, the rotten flesh.
There's a time to talk and a time to fight. Be on your way. Prismir. closer. Nice work. I see you haven't forgotten how to handle yourself in a fight. Still, this is bad. I didn't think the Tuatha would reach this far. At least not so soon. Obviously, the Tuatha have bigger plans than just killing you. Infusing the trolls with Prismere, trying to bring the war to Dalentar? Niralim was right to be concerned. Aren't I always? But have patience. For now, why not take comfort in knowing that you saved Niralim and his forest? Go, talk to the tree. I'm sure he'll allow you into Issa. I'll stay here and finish off any remaining Tuatha. You can tell the old mossy log yourself. I'll be tracking down any other Tuatha that may have come this far west. I'll find you again when the time is right.
Niralim, may your wisdom grow within us all.
You return, and in your wake, Dalentarth blossoms. The flow is rearranged, now and forever. Nash's brood is at an end. You have destroyed what was written, and made a new fate for Dalentarth. Even your darkest ally walks a lighter path. And yet the Tuatha still spread, marching with Prismere and pain. You have only delayed our doom. I have already given you much. Now you must learn what you have received. You must know this, Quickling. The age is changing. Immortals are passing, and the future belongs to the young races. If there is a future to be had. Go, and stand at the heart of the She. There you will find Issa, and perhaps you will find wisdom as well. Nash and her brood would have spread across Dalentarth and brought the taint of Prismere with them. So it forever was to be, until you set about to stop it. Only the path of your own choosing. Stand at the heart of the She. And if that path includes the Gardens of Issa, I shall allow it. May your path be long and ever green.
Welcome to the Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Court and the warm heart of the Feylands. It is a rare occasion for us to welcome a child of dust into Issa, but it is equally rare that Niralim chooses a champion. Pleased to meet you. I am Chancellor to the High King. I pray you enjoy our hospitality. High King Titarian is Lord of the Summerfey, the font of all our wisdom, and first amongst the immortals. And since Godflow tragically murdered the High King of the Winter Court, Titarian is the greatest and last true leader left of our kind. The sapling of the World Tree bears centuries of great wisdom. Of course, long-lived as Nirlam is, it is still regrettably mortal. Even all greatest mortal wisdom cannot compare to the perspective given by true agelessness. Begging your pardon, of course. We are the Summer Court, the very embodiments of courage, honor, and all things bright and proud. Some envious few in the Winter Court would call us arrogant and self-righteous, as well as all manner of other epithets. But remember, we are the ones who stayed true to tradition, while they turned to barbarism. The Tuatha find new recruits from our ranks. The ranks of the Fae were not always sullied by the presence of anything so coarse as the Tuatha. Once, the Summer and Winter Courts existed in harmony. But Godflow perverted the Winter Court with talk of his new god, and from that poison, the Tuatha arose. Truly a place of wonder, as it has always been and always shall be. Here springs the life well of Dalentarth, and the greater Feylands in all directions. It is a pity that some of our kind have fallen to such degenerative states, but we cannot shed a tear for their weakness. Too many mortals misunderstand the Winter Court. Our cold cousins are not evil, but merely evoke the darker truths of nature, from subtlety to decay. Perhaps it makes sense that children of dust are put off by those who embody their inevitable death, but it is regrettable that so many are misunderstood.
Don't start trouble.
High King Titarian is waiting for you. Please place the Codex before him, and he will continue.
Conceived in chaos, birthed in stolen magic, torn from fate, child of two fathers, Treacheries in treacheries. Winter is broken. The puppet king upon his throne, drinking flattery and lies. The power that grows in him is not his own. In the east it did begin, as it will end. From behind the veil she screams, madness and rage. Madness and rage. We realize this may be confusing for you. Fate, like the Fae, cannot be changed. But the Tuatha are Fae who have become something new, and you are a mortal who is free from Fate's weave. Gadflow claims that the Tuatha are the work of his new god. If the Tuatha are the creations of a god, what does that make you? Even with the power of a god, you have the humility of a mortal. Perhaps this gift has found the correct person. This is a time of great change. Change we once thought was impossible. We were wrong. You are intertwined with the power in the East. There can be no doubt of that. Your energy reaches back to Alabastra. We do not know what will happen when you travel there, but we know that the power behind Gadflow is your ultimate goal. His god holds your answer and the fate of this world. I thank you, and perhaps you can help change our world's fate as well. I have seen those who were destined to be heroes, for whom great deeds came naturally. They come, they act, and they pass on as written. You do great things not because you must, but because you choose to. That is by far a far truer greatness. Admirable. But strength of will cannot see you through this alone. You may be unbound by fate, but you are not free from death. Speak with your allies. Only with their aid can you hope to overcome the forces that stand against you. The weave is a puzzle. Each person is a piece. The edges of their fate locking together with the people around them, all performing their duties to form a grand picture. However, you are no longer a puzzle piece. You are a dollop of paint. You cover and redefine the edges of the puzzle pieces you meet. But more dangerously, you repaint the picture of reality itself. Who can trust that your design is better than the original? It is the deepest tragedy that our fall should come from our own. Make no mistake, Gadflow is the harbinger of the end of my kind. In fighting him and his army, you will surely spell our doom. For that tragic truth, we forgive you. We are the dreams of warmth and safety, given physical form. But these dreams are endangered by Gadflow and the long winter. Our cold cousins across the sea. Do not think the Winter Court our enemies, for we love them as family, dismal though they may be. Oh, to walk in their starlit gardens once again, or sip their calming stone tea. But the Tuatha have consumed them, and all of their wonders are lost. The summer and winter courts have always ruled the Feylands in harmony, as the seasons wash across the world. But with Gadflow's new god, something changed. The Winter Fae who followed him called themselves Tuatha, and bore a mark of Prismir upon them. Their power has grown, and yet they are diminished. Since our kind returned to this world so long ago, it has been my honor to serve as High King of the Summer Court. My rule was always shared with the High King of the Winter Court, until Gadflow arose. Now both of our people are in peril.
I couldn't make out half of what the king was saying, but it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Good thing you won't be facing it alone. In fact, I think I've got a lead on finding an old friend of ours. Old Fomorous Hughes, of course. If anybody can help, it's bound to be the gnome who brought you back to life. I've been asking around, and I was able to make contact with his superior. He thinks he might be able to help find Hughes. All gnome scholars have a Templar who sponsors their research, and apparently Hughes' sponsor, Templar Octien, is desperate to find him. Go southwest to the Hollowlands and Detir. Octien will be waiting there to discuss how you might reach Hughes. You're not the only one on the hunt for Hughes. Octien has followed his trail to the Hollowlands in Detir. You'll want to talk to him. Any luck finding the old gnome? Beautiful city, isn't it? You can see why they don't like letting most mortals in. Even the best of us make it look like a mess by comparison.
Who would have thought you were so interesting? Death seems to have worked out very well for you. Agarth's looking for escape, Neuralim's looking for a savior, and Tatarian is looking for a champion, and somehow, you're giving everyone what they want. I'm impressed. Agreed. We are facing more important problems than your ongoing identity crisis. The Tuatha have laid siege to the eastern city of Mel Senshir for years, and the time has come to break it. A few years ago, one warrior could have slipped past unnoticed, but stealth is no longer an option, not even for me. But there is hope. In the plains of Erethel there waits a player who has been away from this game for far too long. It is time to contact General Telera. Meet me in the village of Emer, and I will tell you everything. General Telera was in charge of our forces to the east in Cluracan. But a decade ago, Witch Knight Malwyn and his Tuatha army drove her forces back. Since then, she's been looking for some way to take back the land she lost and regain her honor. You might be just the help she needs. The Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Fae, once spread from the forests of Dalentarth, across the plains of Erethel, and even through the deserts of Detir. Between the madness of the war and the spread of man, Alfar, and Gnome, the Summer Fae lose a little more ground every day. A tragedy for them. We are the charmed, the subtle, and the inspired. In happier days, we were the loftiest of the mortal races. We despise open war. But for decades, the Tuatha have been at war with us, pushing into our lands and forcing us to take up arms. Be on your way. I just wanted to say how impressed I am. Agarth's looking for an escape. Neuralim's looking for a safe. Death has worked out very well for you. Be on your way.
No fighting in the city!
Oh, excellent. Another... Oh, a mortal. I don't think I could... Well, perhaps I might. Yes, of course. Why not? You, Dustling, how would you like to make some of your shiny, bright metal? What's it called? Ah, yes, gold. How would you like some of that? My role is with the Hall of Appointments, to prepare visiting ambassadors and dignitaries to meet with the Court of Summer. Right now, there are 4 terrible, regal lords and ladies that wish to see High King Tartarian. But they are a fickle lot and require extra, handling. They must enter the font in a procession, but each has his or her own preferences, and I can't afford to offend any of them. Wonderful. That's one less aggravation that demands my concern. Thank you, mortal. The dignitaries have been seen about the gardens, enjoying its many splendors. I will remain here and await your advice. I enjoy my role as steward, but my fear of Lady Olana overshadows any pleasure I might find in the tasks assigned to me. She is quite critical. Well, I've never met him, of course. Such an honor is not granted to squires. But they say he is quite incredible. As tall as a tree and radiating a great light, as though a sun burned within him. The birds sing to herald his glory. She is well suited to her role as the Lady of Receivership, as she enjoys judging the worth of others. She has assessed me as well, and I have been found lacking. I am steward of the High King's list, and apprentice to the Lady of Receivership. Olana will be so displeased once she finds out I failed her so. Few dustlings ever make their way to these gardens. I believe they fear us, as they fear the elements. As they should. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not like to be called dustlings? Everywhere. Goronet is in the Hall of Appointments, but the others are all over the city. What a nightmare. Goodbye.
Damn Red Legion!
It is you! I never dared hope that this day would come. Once you start to believe in the fantasy, the reality becomes too unbearable to return to. Camden has returned to me, and you have made it so. You have done the impossible, and for that, I owe you more than this meager reward. I can see a future now, where before there was only the harsh cold of a long winter. Now there is the warmth of spring. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Hello. Speak with me a moment while we're away from prying ears. Kenrock is looking to me for leadership, and I'm more than happy to give it to them. However, if Barton returns, that all evaporates. Let me put it this way. It is for the best that he is dead. Do you understand? Barton has survived worse than this. I want assurance that he won't return to rob me of my newfound status. So here's my proposal. Confirm that Barton is dead, whatever it takes. I'll pay well for your help in this. Unlike Barton, I have some sense of what leadership really requires. What are you talking about? I merely asked you to find Barton within Webwood. Or what's left of him. Now, are we finished? Kenrock has need of me. I'm a very important man, you know. Good hunting!
Stay back. Wait. A fellow Varani? By the widow's mercy. Who sent you? Have you word from Canarok? I'm the only one left. My men and I were ambushed when we entered the cave. It's as if the damn spiders set a trap for us. These spiders are somehow using strategy, tactics. Simple ones, but enough to overwhelm us. I think someone is leading them. It's all over this cave. Footprints, torn webs, but no body. It could be the Bloody Widow for all I know, but Canarok needs to be told. That damn... This whole suicide mission was his idea. And now he tries to have me killed? I need to tell Canarok what has happened here, and deal with Garana. I have to hurry. Speak with me after we reach Canarok. Speak with me, please!
Garner or Barton? I don't know which one would have led. All I know is I need to close up the windows, check, stay alert.
Hello. For your part in saving me, you have my thanks. And you're welcome to Gossamer End, a house in the village. Billis Ade, the town blacksmith, will make repairs if you need them. For his treachery, I have banished Gariner from this town. The widow take him. Enjoy your new home, but do so quickly. If the widow is out there, we must send someone to Castle Yorvin to find out why. Information. Castle Yorvin was a Fey bastion long ago. They used some form of the magic to pacify Webwood. Perhaps they can tell us how to calm Webwood. We need something to stop these damn spiders. Long ago, the Fae of that castle tamed them, and all of Webwood. If there's any clue as to what they did, or maybe about the widow, we could use it. It used to be a place for easy money when the Fae pacified the wood, but lately things have turned worse. The fair folk work a powerful magic over this forest. I've seen a lot in my years, but nothing quite like they're capable of. We've neither heard nor seen anything from the Fae stronghold in a long time. It was the Fae of that castle that tamed Webwood initially. We must discover how. The spiders make their home in these trees, corrupting what should be a sunny place into a twisted, winding ruin. But Webwood wasn't more than a nuisance until now. Seems like Kennerock is beset by the whole damn forest, and we're not winning. I don't know what it could be. Could be a monster, a spider, or just a tail. There's no telling yet what we're dealing with.
What can I... Thank the gods. Someone from the outside finally made it through. I thought we'd be... well, I never thought I'd see a new face again. But it's good you're here. I'm Siluretta Vonner, the village mediciner, and I need your help. Normally I keep a stock of antivenom at hand for when silk farmers get bitten, but with the recent attacks my stores have been emptied. There's not much to the potion, but because we've been in Webwood for so long, we're more sensitive to the spider poison than most. So there is an ingredient I still need, the poison glands of the spiders themselves. I'll need someone to harvest them. Good. I'll need as large a batch of the potion as I can make, so 15 glands or so will be needed. In the maws of the beasts that hunt us, I'm afraid. The only way to get the glands is to kill a spider and take them. It's no easy task, but the town needs this potion soon. I trust his spear, and I trust his judgment. This is a war, or something like it. Barton's the only one with the experience for this. My dear husband, I know he thinks himself useless, but the deer has been essential in helping me keep this town in health potions and antivenom. Even the wondrous Dalentarth has its dark places, but the silk we take from these spiders gets a fair coin elsewhere, so here we stay. But recently the winds of the wood are darker, the air more thick, and now the spiders have besieged us. It's as though the witch has finally come. It's an old story. My grandmother used to tell it when I was young. It's supposed to scare young ones away from Webwood. They said that the widow ripped out her heart when she first found love, and that she has her spiders rip out the hearts of all who dare pierce her wood. Stay safe.
Hello, stranger. I heard you aren't afraid to pass through Webwood. What I wouldn't give to be like you, to leave this place. I haven't seen my home in weeks, and I fear something horrible has happened there. That's just it. I don't know. I came to Kennerock some days before the first attacks. I was stuck here. Our farmhand, Cartery Jake, stumbled into Kennerock a few days later. He was tight-lipped about my parents at first. Then he said the spiders got them. Now he avoids me, avoids everyone. Something happened at the farm, but I can't bring myself to find out what. Thank you. I will give you whatever I have. Just bring me news of my mother and father. I need to know what happened there. At Toff Farm. I need you to find out what happened there. I lost contact with my family when the spider attacks stranded me here. Our farmhand, Cartery Jake, made it here a few days after the attacks began. But he won't give me a straight answer about my parents. I fear the worst. I don't know him personally, but it seems few do. I've seen him in a fight, however, and there's much we can learn from him. I am not from the town of Canarok. Not properly. My family... Well, I came from the east, from a small farm on the edge of Webwood. My family was never that familiar with the history of Webwood. When we were fleeing from the war, we didn't have time to learn the old stories. But that's all they are. Stories. There's no reason to believe in the widow any more than that the sun might fall one day from the sky and crush us all. My parents loved the wood. Genuinely. There was no war. There was no worrying. It was a simpler life for them. But they were not from here. They didn't know the danger to our farm, to our lives. Farewell. Have you found what's happened to my family? Safe journey.
Have you had any luck getting those poison glands? I'll need 15 or so to craft the antivenom. Good day.